So, you've got a chemistry degree, and you're thinking, now what? What if I told you that degree could be your ticket to a seriously high-impact government career in India? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down the top government jobs that are basically crying out for chemistry graduates. And look at this. Everybody needs you. We need a chemistry specialist. That's not just some feel-good line, It's the absolute truth. Whether we're talking about defense, energy, or public health, pretty much every major government sector is on the lookout for people with your skills. Your expertise is seriously in demand. But okay, let's be real. With so many options out there, where do you even start? It can feel overwhelming, right? The jobs are super competitive, and finding good, clear information all in one place, almost impossible. That's exactly why we're doing this explainer, to cut through all that noise and give you a straightforward roadmap. All right, let's talk about your degree and what it really means. It's time to reframe it. Think of it less as just a piece of paper and more as your advantage. It's your golden ticket to a career that's not only secure and well-paying, but also genuinely makes a difference. Let's dive in and see what that future could actually look like for you. Okay, let's get right into it. Path number 1, defending the nation. This is where your chemistry knowledge gets put to use for national security. We're talking high stakes, high prestige, and high rewards. And first up is the big one, DRDO, the Defense Research and Development Organization. For chemists, this is pretty much the pinnacle. Seriously, forget your standard lab work. We're talking about developing cutting-edge stuff, explosives, propellants for our missiles, even stealth coatings for fighter jets. Your work here has a direct line to the nation's security. And you better believe that kind of importance is reflected in the paycheck. We're talking a potential monthly salary of over 1.5 lakh rupees, and that's including allowances. And that's just to start. As you move up, you could be looking at annual packages well over 25-30 lakhs. This isn't just a job, it's a career you can build for life. So this brings you to a pretty big decision. You've got 3 titans of high security science here. Just look at the breakdown. If salary is your number one motivator, DRDO is probably your target. But what if it's about being part of something huge, like our space program? Then ISRO is calling your name. Or maybe you want to tackle our energy problems head on, that's BARC. But notice the trade-offs. Each one asks for something different from you. So what's the bottom line for this whole national security path? It's simple. You gotta go deep. A PhD is really the most direct route in. Sure, a master's can open the door, maybe as a junior research fellow. But if you want to lead projects, you'll need a solid research background and a very specific specialization. And it goes without saying, passing those strict security clearances is an absolute must. All right, so we've talked about defending the nation. Now let's pivot to path number 2, fueling the country. We're moving into the absolute heart of India's economy, the energy sector. And in this world, chemistry isn't just a piece of the puzzle, it's the entire engine. So picture this. You're working for a giant like ONGC, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. You're not just a chemist, you're a chief chemist or a senior manager. You're the one leading the research to get more oil out of the ground, making our fuel better, and figuring out how to handle waste. But here's the catch you need to know about. These jobs, they're often in remote locations, right at the drilling sites, not in the big cities. But that trade-off for living in a remote spot, it comes with some seriously exceptional financial rewards. We're talking about potential annual packages of up to 30 lakhs. No joke. These jobs are so well compensated with great work-life balance that once people get in, they rarely ever leave. Okay, you're going to see this term GATE pop up again and again, so let's just nail this down. GATE stands for the Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering, and honestly, a high score on this test is basically your passport into many of these top-tier, high-paying government jobs, especially at places like ONGC. If you're serious about this path, getting a great GATE score is non-negotiable. Now, even within the fuel sector, you've got a choice to make. It really comes down to what you want to do. Are you more into the R&D, the exploration, figuring out how to recover more oil? That's ONGC. Or are you more about quality control, making sure that every single drop of petrol or diesel sold in the country is up to snuff and meets those strict BIS standards? Well, that's Indian oil, or IOCL. All right, on to our third and final path. And this one is all about protecting the public. This is where your chemistry skills have a direct, visible, day-to-day impact on people's lives. We're talking health, safety. This is where your science truly becomes public service. You become the Sherlock Holmes of the entire world. I mean, come on, how cool is that for a job description? This is what we're talking about when we get into forensic science. You're literally using chemistry to solve crimes, to analyze evidence, to find the truth. It has to be one of the most exciting ways to use a chemistry degree, period. So, what does a day in the life look like? It's basically this 4-step flow. First, you get the evidence from a crime scene. Could be anything, narcotics, toxins, and you analyze it. Then, and this is crucial, you maintain the chain of custody. You have to protect that evidence. Step 3, you write up your reports, documenting everything. And finally, step 4, you might find yourself in a courtroom serving as an expert witness, where your scientific testimony could be the one thing that brings about justice. Now, here's another incredibly important public safety role, the drug inspector. Think about it. You are the final line of defense between the public and unsafe or fake medicines. This isn't a desk job. You're out there, you're traveling, inspecting pharmaceutical companies, testing drug samples, and making sure what people buy at the pharmacy is actually safe and does what it's supposed to do. And, with the environment being such a huge issue right now, this next one is more critical than ever. The pollution control officer. Your job here is to advise the Ministry of Environment to monitor pollution levels from factories and to enforce the standards that keep our air and water clean. It's a hugely impactful job with a really rewarding salary, and you're directly helping create a healthier country for all of us. So, let's pull it all together. We've looked at 3 incredible paths for your degree: defending the nation, fueling our economy, and protecting the public. Each one is totally different, but what's the one common thread? Your expertise in chemistry. Now, let's figure out what your path forward looks like. And of course, we can't forget the foundational pillars that hold all of this up: research and academia. We're talking about being a senior scientist at a place like CSIR or a professor at an IIT. These aren't just jobs. Think of them as the engine room of scientific progress. They're doing the fundamental research and, just as importantly, training the next generation of scientists who will take on all these roles we've talked about. So, when you boil it all down, what's the recipe for success? As you can see, a few key things keep coming up. A PhD, that's often your most direct ticket in, no question. A great GATE score, absolutely essential for those high-paying technical jobs. A master's is a great start. And specialization, that's your secret weapon. That's what will always make you stand out from the crowd. So, let's circle all the way back to the beginning. Your chemistry degree isn't just a qualification on your CV. It's so much more than that. It is literally a key that unlocks a stable, impactful, and genuinely rewarding government career. The equation is simple. You have the knowledge, and the government has the need. Your expertise is absolutely in demand. The opportunities are real, whether it's developing new defense tech, finding new energy sources, or keeping our communities safe. So the only real question left to ask is, what problem will you choose to solve?